Chris Lovell here with another edition of Patriot Talk with the head football coach of the Lubbock Cooper Patriots, Joe Sexton, athletic coordinator, Lubbock Cooper Liberty extraordinaire, man that knows all things about the new high school being built, and just thought we'd get a kind of an update on things. As this is 6 months ish away from
Right.
opening up.
It'll be here pretty quick.
Yeah. So your fall has been kind of, well, we'll get into some different things here, but your fall has been kind of just continuing to get ready
Right.
for a brand new athletic program starting from scratch.
Well, it's been a challenge for sure, but it's a lot of fun. Getting to talk to a lot of people. Getting to order everything brand new. We've got several storage buildings full of stuff. Trying to get ready.
Yes, if you have any more storage out there, let us know. This guy right here could use it for sure.
Yeah, we filled up a couple of them already, and we've got more stuff coming. Pretty much, I think we're going to be ready to roll in June or July whenever we can start moving stuff into Liberty.
Okay. So let's just kind of go through for people that are looking at this, whether it be a student or parent or just people that were generally interested. Construction. Let's just kind of, you guys meet about it every week. Not just you, but there's a lot of folks that are meeting about Liberty every week, and like the general construction of the school and athletic facilities is kind of where are we at right now, and what's the timetable for some of these things?
Well, as far as the school goes, everybody, our principal, Philip Saffel, has been, he goes over quite a bit, and he looks and he sits in on the actual construction meetings. And from what they're telling us, everything's pretty much on time. Most of I actually haven't been in the building in probably over a month, so I'm sure there's a lot been done since I've been in there. But, they're saying we're right on time to move in. Then as far as the gyms go, last time I was over there, the gyms were looking good. These gyms are going to be really nice.
And we will show you pictures of kind of what it looks like. They're giant holes in the ground. There's going to be two big gyms separated, and eventually a competition gym will be
Right.
built. But these two massive gyms will be, I guess, initially opened up with the
Right.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever the school opens, we'll have two practice gyms for volleyball, basketball, all the indoor sports. We'll definitely have a place to practice. We may have, some place for the outdoor sports to go when the weather gets bad. Our field house and indoor are in a later phase. So gyms are coming along great. I think they will definitely be ready to go. The company that's building or constructing the football field, they should be starting this week and starting to see the turf field take place out there.
And so that turf process will begin here pretty quick.
Yes.
And it's obviously a brand new turf, but with some new technology in it to keep the field cooler. Some different fill in there.
Right.
If no more of those those like black rubber
Yeah,
pellets.
instead of the black rubber, I think it's going to be green.
Yeah, but it's meant to keep it
Right.
cooler. So there's that.
Yeah, it'll definitely keep the temperature down probably 20, 25 degrees. So
Which is a lot.
pretty significant when it's 130 on the turf anyway. So
Yeah, I was on one of these fields in Stillwater this fall. Oklahoma
Right.
State's got something very, very similar with the new product, but that the turf will start being done here this spring.
right, Hellas is telling us that by June 1st, probably just in time for summer workouts, we should have our turf ready to go. So
Okay.
I'm ready to get that done.
Yeah, and obviously we'll show you pictures of kind of the dirt work with the field, and then kind of a rendering of what the new stadium and all those things will look like as part of this video. Other facilities, the school, it's going to be in phases too, but
Right.
you're mainly worried about field, track, gyms. What am I missing there as far as like initial we'll have it when it's opened up.
Well, if you drive down Woodrow Road right now and you see the structure that's built, that's going to be half of the school.
Right.
I've had a lot of questions.
It's going to be a massive school.
People have, asked about, is that the whole school? And well, that's half of the school. The other half is going to, keep coming in later phases. So it's going to be a massive building over there. As far as the other facilities go, I think everything is what you're seeing right there, the gyms, the turf field. I think that's about all that we're going to start with. I think every athletic program that we're going to have at Liberty is going to have a place to practice. Soccer will have a place to practice.
And I just want to clarify, because I think people have questions about that. You and I had a conversation with Coach Catwinkle, athletic director. When we were talking about putting this video together, what sports will you not have? It doesn't appear that you won't have any sports across the board.
Everything that we have at Lubbock Cooper right now, we're gonna open with.
Okay.
We'll have baseball, softball, football, soccer, swimming, wrestling. There's not a whole lot of 3A schools out there that have wrestling and swimming.
So they
Right. So
play up a bit or compete.
Yeah. So we're going to have to opt up to a different level. So if you're a swimmer, swimming just this year opened up a 4A division. So we will swim in 4A. The school itself is actually going to be a 3A school when we open. Wrestling is going to have to compete on the 5A level. So kind of like what our school is presently competing in. So soccer will have to opt up for, I think they will opt up to play 4A soccer.
Okay.
So we're going to have to, there's a good possibility. We've started looking at districts a little bit. We could have 4 or 5 different districts in one high school.
Yeah, so let's explain that. When will Liberty High School be placed into a district? Let's just start there and work backwards.
All of our sports except for football is going to play varsity athletics. So that means that
in the first year.
In the first year. So we're going to have to be placed into a district. All of our other sports. So
volleyball, boys and girls.
Everything that we're going to compete in. Other than football, is going to be a varsity sport. So we have to be placed into a district. Probably, I'm going to say by the 1st of February, we'll probably know what district that we're going to go to. Girls basketball, boys basketball will be a district. There's a good chance that could be a different district for softball, and then soccer will be a different district. Wrestling will be a different district. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts within that one high school.
And it's because a lot of programs don't have certain sports, and so you kind of...
Right. There's a lot of 3A schools around here that do not offer volleyball. So we will be in, like our volleyball district will probably be different than our girls basketball district. Okay. So just because those, a lot of the schools that we're kind of looking at being placed in their district, they don't play volleyball. So that'll look a little different.
And you mentioned around 1st of February. I mean, that's not too far out.
Right.
I mean, that's going to happen pretty quick, which leads me to the next question. So again, no district for football. We'll get into kind of what that does from a scheduling standpoint, but you'll get placed into volleyball and all these different districts all throughout here. Early February is the thinking here. As far as scheduling goes, because as we know, football starts in August, volleyball starts in early August. What is happening from a scheduling standpoint without knowing District 1? Football won't have one. Right. Volleyball will, but you still have a lot of pre-district stuff. So kind of take me through the scheduling part, because you've been active there.
Yeah, that's been a challenge. The UIL realigns everything every 2 years. So Liberty's coming in the middle of a realignment cycle. So everybody pretty much has their schedule set. So as far as from a football standpoint, when people were looking for games, there's a Twitter a lot of other different places that coaches put their,
Sports U and all those kinds of.
so there's always coaches looking for games. So this football season, every time I would see somebody looking for a football game, I'd write their name, which school, contact information, and then at the end of the football season, I started calling everybody, going, "Hey, week 2, I noticed that you needed freshman JV games, and since we're going to be, just starting out freshman and JV, I've been hounding everybody on the South Plains and the Panhandle and the Abilene area. Hey, I saw you needed games, and some people would say, hey, we do need games. A lot of people would say, no, we got those filled. So on to the next one. So I've called a lot of schools. I've emailed a lot of schools, and I think currently right now we probably have 4 football games scheduled. I think we'll probably pick up, my anticipation is to have a full football schedule.
Okay.
As far as volleyball goes, kind of the same thing. I've started to reach out to some area schools about what 3A volleyball tournaments are around, so we can start getting our volleyball teams put into some tournaments for, like their preseason schedule.
Okay. Yeah, and basketball will be just the next
so,
thing to come, because basketball tournaments and all those things will be
right. And everybody already has their schedule set, so it's going to be a challenge to try to find games, but we're gonna get it done.
make it work.
We're gonna make it work.
Okay, and so with a district placement and all these sports offered, I think one of the things that a lot of people are curious about, the number of students that factors in 3A. Right. It factors in what district you're in. It factors in all these things. Take me through like the overall numbers as it stands right now, and we expect this to change a bit.
Right. It can always shuffle back and forth just a little bit, but I think roughly we're going to be right around 300 kids starting off. That's with just freshmen and sophomores. There will be some kids some families that move in. There may be some that move out. So, roughly right around 300 is probably a good starting point for us.
Okay, and that would be freshmen and sophomores.
Yes.
Yeah, opening up in the high school. You mentioned that you've spent a lot of time ordering and things like that. People and you can see this right here. Lubbock Cooper Liberty has got its own set of footballs. You've been ordering uniforms.
Here's so every day I get a call. Hey, we've got a shipment coming in, and we've got our practice gear in. Pretty happy with the way that turned out. So it's kind of like Christmas all year round. So I go down and open up boxes and go, oh, practice gear or footballs or, so. Yesterday, I spent a good portion of the day trying to put together an order to get our volleyball program up and running. So probably spent half the day trying to piece together some volleyball stuff and get it headed this way.
Okay. You've ordered helmets.
Yes.
You mentioned, that there's always boxes of just who knows what is going on or what's inside.
Like I said, it's Christmas year round.
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
Just, I'm always, as soon as the storage place calls, and those guys down at Affordable Storage have been awesome. They'll call and go, hey, Coach, you've got a big truck out here, and we need a forklift to get it out. And our maintenance guys, Mike Reber and Lino, they show up with the forklift, and
Yeah, because we're talking
pretty been
we're talking uniforms, but equipment. And
weight room equipment,
blocking sleds, and just everything you could imagine. You're starting from scratch here, so
right.
It's been. I've seen the list that you've kind of making sure.
And I'm sure I've forgotten something.
Yeah, even whistles.
Yeah, whistles. Yes. And just trying to take care of all of our athletic needs. We'll probably start the hiring process or the interview process here pretty quick.
That's a great segue into, because you're trying to staff this thing too. Let's just start right there. Take me through. You need to hire a bunch of head coaches and assistant coaches and just trainer. You take me through what is in place now and kind of what you're working towards.
Probably in January, we're going to start posting all of our jobs that we're going to need to hire. And there'll be all of our head coaches, assistants, for those coaches. A lot of our coaches that we're going to hire are probably going to be coaching 2 or 3 sports because we are a 3A school. So the overall teacher count is not going to be like what it is at Lubbock Cooper High School.
Okay.
So some of our coaches, they will coach 2 or 3 different sports. I'll probably have another sport myself.
Which that's kind of what goes on at the
Right.
high school now. There's very few that don't. Everybody's got a secondary sport. And
Everybody's got a secondary sport at the high school, but I think some of ours may have a third sport, kind of depending on the need as far as that goes. So in January, we'll start those posting probably by the end of January. We'll start filtering those out. I'd love to have, coaches start coming in. There's been a huge interest. Everybody is wanting to be a part of Lubbock Cooper. And
so you have people in place, true or false? Like kind of there. You've talked to people.
I've got some really, really good names of people who are very interested. They'll still have to go through our application process and stuff like that. I'm as being a experienced coach, I don't want to call myself old just yet, but
wiser. Yeah, you're just wise.
I'm really looking for a younger coaching staff as far as that goes, with a lot of energy. I've talked to a couple guys who just recently graduated that want to get their coaching career started. So I would love to start off with some young energy, to try to coach all these guys that we're going to have. 'Cause we're going to have a really good bunch of boys that come in.
Okay. And as far as, like you're already looking ahead to like summer workouts and things like that. You've already kind of got a calendar put in place because once summer gets here and you're going to have a staff in place, for boys, girls, and all that, you've got to have them hit the ground running because you guys we just sit there and talked about it. You guys are competing this next August, and here we are in late December, and it's going to be here before you know it. So summer workouts, what does that look like?
I started putting a summer program together, and because I know that's going to be one of the first questions that a lot of parents are going to ask. Are you going to be able to, are my kids going to work out this summer? And yes, your kids are going to get to work out this summer. Starting probably about the 1st of June or the middle of June, June 12th, we're going to start our summer workouts. We're going to go 4 days a week. And the way we're going to do that, if you go to a Liberty High School, boy or girl, we're going to have I think we're going to call it Liberty Performance Camp. There is going to be some sport-specific time added in there, but mainly we're going to try to make athletes faster and stronger. That's going to be our main focus. We're going to be a speed-based program, so we're going to try to make Chris Level as fast as we can make Chris Level.
Tough task there.
So June 12th, we're going to go 3 weeks in June. Like I said, we'll have if you go to Liberty High School or you go to Laura Bush Middle School, all of those kids are going to come work out with us also. We'll have a junior high time or a middle school time, and then we'll have a high school time. Boys and girls, we're going to work everybody out because we want to learn names. We want them to learn our coaches' names so we can kind of figure out what kind of athlete we're going to have.
Okay.
So, and then we'll pick it back up after the 4th of July. We'll go a couple weeks in July. We'll have our Liberty football camp. It's probably going to be the 24th, 25th, 26th, I believe.
Of July.
And then right after that, we'll have two-a-days starting on July 31st. So once we get to summertime, it's going to hit us like an avalanche. And here we go.
And you're trying to plan for everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're trying to plan for everything. Because I already know that there's questions out there about this. I know you're not going to have an answer for it, but I want people to hear from you on it. Hey, Coach, what kind of offense we running? What kind of defense we running?
Right.
I
wish I had $1 for every time somebody asked me.
Hey, do you know what scheme they're going to run in volleyball? They're going to, whatever. Just I'll let you kind of take that and go.
Right. Are you going to throw the ball 50 times a game? Or are you going to
run it 50 times?
Are you going to run it 50 times a game? And my standard answer has been, we're not going to have a we're not going to say, all right, this is what we're going to do. One of the biggest things in our summer workouts that we're going to get into is we got to see what kind of athletes we're going to have. Are we going to have a lot of really big kids, or are we going to be, as far as athletes go, are they going to be smaller and faster? So we're going to tailor-made our offense and defense to the kid. We're not going to just try to put a square peg in a round hole and just say, by golly, this is what we're going to do. I want to see what kind of athletes we're going to have. Now, I'm a defensive guy, so when I go and I watch all the middle school games and everything, I see people as defensive positions. Our offensive coordinator, whenever we get him hired, he's probably looking at it a little bit different than I am. But we don't really know, so. I don't know if we'll throw it 50 times again.
Right, no, I get it, yeah.
Pretty much anymore, you're going to throw the ball a little bit. So I'm definitely open to that if we have the kids to do it.
Okay. So I think we covered facilities, we covered scheduling, we covered just the number at Liberty High School. We covered kind of the hiring process and timetable there. We covered uniforms and ordering, and when some of that stuff starts coming in, we'll start showing everybody.
Oh yeah, as soon as I get anything in, we want everybody to be excited about coming to Liberty High School. The uniforms that we have picked out are going to be top of the line uniforms. As soon as those come in, I like to put those on our football Twitter. As soon as we get,
and I was going to tell everybody that I want to make sure that I read it right. It's if you want to follow the football program, and again, as coaches are in place for the different programs, at Liberty FB _ LCP. So it's at Liberty FB _ LCP. You'll see that logo right there, so you'll know it's the right account. And you can also follow on Instagram and Twitter the at Athletics LCP, the General Athletic Department account for both high schools, and we'll point you that direction.
And I'm going to use that football Twitter, for all of our sports right now.
Okay.
As soon as we get volleyball coaches hired, as soon as we hire coaches, it's probably going to pop up on there so everybody can see what we've done. And until that coach can get in and get their social media established, it'll all be right there.
Okay, there you go.
Plus on our district website also.
You got it. Well, I think it was important to get kind of a year-end update out there. There's a lot going on. A lot of people, there's a lot of information out there, misinformation out there. We're trying to do the best we can to kind of clarify what is real, what is not. You hear all kinds of things around town about, this and that. But anyway, this is as good as we can do. And hopefully the drawings kind of help you see the vision of what some of this is going to look like and what it does look like now. Construction going on, I think 6 days a week, and
we're really big on answering questions.
Yeah.
Coach Cat says all the time, if you don't give people information, they're gonna make up their own. And
you haven't seen anybody do that, have you? Yeah, not at all. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So you can email me anytime with questions. Feel free to call me, come up wherever you see me. I'm very, very approachable. So.
Yeah, and you're at everything too. So,
right.
Yeah.
I try to get to, I still go to as many things at all the middle schools, still.
And high school too.
And high school. Yeah. So, yes.
Okay. Well, that was good. I think hopefully we answered your question. If you have more, if we didn't cover something you're curious about, reach out to Coach Sexton or myself, and we'll do our best. But I guess with that, anything I left out you want to cover before we get out of here?
Merry Christmas.
There you go. Merry Christmas. And he's going to sing Jingle Bells. Oh, but the camera's about to run out of battery. But that's been another edition
we don't want that.
of Patriot Talk.